Hey everyone, Pratiti Pathak here. Welcome to Unpacking Brain Drama, where we talk about real life experiences, the challenges, and the obstacles. Sometimes we use them to block ourselves, sometimes we use them to grow and evolve. Here's what I want to say: obstacles are not the things blocking our path, obstacles are the path. So, in other words, we have to grow through what we go through. So, join me as we have some amazing conversations with some amazing guests. Let's go. What's up, Wednesday? I think I'm live. One of the things I want to talk about today is gratitude. So here we are in the middle of our week, in the middle of our morning, and we are glitching all over the place. So we're going to unpack all of my brain drama right now. So today I want to chat with you guys. It's right before most people's holidays right now. Everybody is possibly traveling or having people travel to them. And I am in Pennsylvania. I don't know where everybody is right now, but I'm in Pennsylvania, and throughout the country, I was just watching the weather this morning, and I don't love talking about the weather, but it's a thing this week, right? It looks like there's going to be rain and snow and winds and all of those kinds of things going on. So if you guys are traveling or you have people traveling, be safe out there, because the traveling is might be a little bit tricky depending on how you're coming in. I have my cousins coming in, and they are traveling from all different states, and some of them in the bad weathers, and some of my people are already here. The ones that were flying across the country from California, they're already here. So I want to talk about gratitude in the gift giving way, right? When we think of gratitude, it's kind of like sometimes it's like on the receiving end, like what we are grateful for having or getting, receiving. I want to talk about it in the same way, but on the giving side of it, right? Because this is the kind of time of year where we are gifting and we are receiving gifts. And sometimes I think that we think that that always has to be a monetary thing, something like we're actually giving a gift that we had to go to the store and buy or order online and have it shipped. But I want to talk about it in a way of giving of ourselves and giving from our heart, because gift giving doesn't have to always require money, or at least a lot of money. And so I want to give you some gifting ideas if you are maybe not having so much money to spend, or if you want to just create a different value around gift giving, right? I know when I was raising my son, I wasn't always in abundance financially. So I always had to, be careful of my spending. And I grew up in this country with Christmas and with holidays and gifting. But, my parents, we grew up in the Hindu religion, so we didn't have Christmas per se, but my parents always did decorate for holidays and did the gift giving. And they taught us values around the gift giving, right? Like even I did that with my son. It wasn't about the gift. You got what you needed or wanted all year round. It was just about having the fun of opening up gifts and just being surprised and having fun, right? But when you think about what most people enjoy about the holiday, it isn't so much the gift, it is the time spent with the people in their lives. So, one of the things I used to do is I always encourage the kids to make something or draw something or create something, even if it was cards. Like you don't have to go out and buy something. So one of the things I always did with the kids, and I say kids because I had one son, Devin, so as most of you know, that he is not here anymore, and I used to take him, and I have 4 nieces. So I used to take them to always be creative. So we used to go to a place called Creation Station, and it was a ceramics painting place. So you bought a bare bisque and then you painted it. And the time that we spent together painting it, it didn't matter how big or small the item was. It was more about the time spent and then the memory of it, because we got to keep it forever, right? I think most of my nieces, as if I have 100 of them, but like I think all of the kids still have all of their things that they've made over the years with me, and they're dated and they have what we were doing it for and all of that. And I remember one of the Christmases I was just like, hey, do you want Auntie to buy you a gift, or do you want to just go and paint at the creation station, or you can pick it out and I can paint it for you? So it was all of that. So I want to give you some things. So painting is a really good thing. Like if you're good at painting, if you're good at drawing, like draw something for that certain someone, because the thought, we say that it's the thought that counts, right? But when you take your time and energy and put your love into something you've made for somebody, it goes a lot further than just something that you picked off of a shelf, right, and paid for. So if you're good at drawing, if you're good at painting, maybe you can paint something on canvas, or even, some people are really creative. They can do it through woodworking. I remember that when I lost my son, one of my friends' friends was really great at like woodworking in a way that they carved out this amazing piece along with like burning and etching into the wood in a way that was just gorgeous, and made this gorgeous piece for me for the loss of my son at the time. And I just thought that was so amazing and so beautiful and thoughtful. So something like that, maybe doing a craft. And I say like craft, like arts and crafts. I don't mean craft beer. Don't be, well, unless you know how to make wine, or if you know how to make beer, then by all means, make something like that. That's a beautiful gift, as it comes from the heart. Right. So write a beautiful letter to the person that you want to share gratitude for, share something amazing about them. And I want to take that just one step further. And I'm going to credit this to Darren Hardy in his book, Compound Effect. He had talked about writing a gratitude journal, but specifically about his wife. So you could do this for a significant other. You could do this for your kids, your parents, your grandparents, siblings, cousins. It doesn't matter, right? But what you can do is literally write something. Now, this might not be something you can give tomorrow or this weekend, but write something from this point all the way until next year, and then give it to them at the end. And what you do, and I just give you a little bit of detail on this particular gift, because I just thought it was transformational for a relationship, any relationship for that matter. Write down one thing every single day that you're grateful for in that person. Maybe the way they did their hair, or the outfit they wore, or how they took care of the kids or cooked a meal. Or now I'm talking specifically about a significant other, but it could be a grandparent, on how they, did certain things, or how a sibling, your gratitude for them. And maybe that's not an everyday thing, but something maybe even weekly or monthly. And then this way, at the end of the full year, you kind of hand this off to them. And this is just probably very tear-jerking, right? Where they're just going to be amazed of how much time you took throughout an entire year to think about them in that way. And what will happen is your appreciation and gratitude for them is definitely going to change your relationship with them and how you see them. And you probably won't see any of the negatives anymore. And then also, it will change their relationship with you throughout the year, because they're going to be noticing changes in you towards them throughout the year. So I think it's just I thought it was just such a beautiful way of showing gratitude for somebody in your life. I have done this in the past, where I put together a whole compiled a bunch of pictures into a video, where I made the music in the background, had pictures fading in and out and doing all of the great transitional things, but it would just be like a slideshow, basically, with it could be music in the background. It could be you talking in the background, telling them how grateful you are for having them as a relationship in your life, whatever it is. It could be your neighbor or a close best friends. I was going to say girlfriend because, my girlfriends would be my best friends, but it could be a guy friend. It could be your brother, your sister. It could be anybody put together. I've done it for birthdays where I've put a video together of a bunch of different photo slides and had music in the background or words that would come up, that would say things about them. And it was like videos of them all different ages. You know what I mean? I even had incorporated family members in and said, hey, send me any pictures. So that's something really cool. Again, something that takes your time, effort, thoughtfulness, mindfulness around it is always a beautiful way if you can put that into a gift somehow. So create a memorable experience. I talked about how I used to take the kids to paint these ceramics. The other thing I used to do is I always had craft parties around this time of the year. We always did gingerbread contests. So we would all get together and do gingerbreads. I still do that now, where I have a gingerbread contest every year with clients and family members. And then they send me all of their pictures of the gingerbread houses. And I usually give like a $25 gift card as a prize to the winner. And it's always a lot of fun. So just the experience of doing that together, right? These are kind of like little traditional things that we can incorporate by creating a tradition around creating that like memorable experience, that beautiful time that we spend together, because that's the gift. It's the gift of the memory, right? Because every year, if you look forward to that, that is a beautiful gift all in itself. I happen to be a member of a place called Longwood Gardens. So if you're in Pennsylvania or if you live in the area, you might be familiar with Longwood Gardens. And this time of year, they have Christmas at Longwood, and it's just gorgeous. There are decorations and their festivities around lightings, and it's just absolutely stunning. So I have like a 5-person membership, and I give that experience as a beautiful gift to clients and family members and anybody and everybody who, anytime we want to go to Longwood Gardens. I have tickets booked for tomorrow, and I have people going with me. I have clients that just finished up my last group session yesterday, and they're going to be going there with me as a bonus added gift that I've added for them to experience Longwood Gardens. So I think things like that. I know that my cousins are coming here, and we have a trip planned to go to New York City together as just creating a memorable experience together, because it's been a long time, quite a few years that we all haven't been together for a long time. So we're going to do that with their husbands and wives and kids and everybody all together. So that's going to be super fun. Let me see. Another thing I really love to do, and I want to share this with you guys. I love every year, whether you celebrate Christmas or not or whatever, doesn't matter. This is something beautiful to experience together. Is just jump in the car and drive around and see all these beautiful lighted decorations that people have all around their home, and just to go different places like that. Again, if you're in Pennsylvania or familiar with Bucks County, or every place has this probably, is like these different parks and things like that have like a whole a lighting festival, right? Where they have, I know like Shady Brook Farms, they do all these lighting decorations. So they'll have like a kind of like a drive through. You just drive, you listen to Christmas music, and you see all the decorations throughout, all this beautiful lighting. I think that's always a great thing, like kind of like a light show, if you will. And that's one thing. I know that a lot of people have traditions around baking together. Those are also really great gifts, right? And I've received them, and I've always been so happy receiving just a whole tin of home baked cookies or home baked bread or cakes or muffins or whatever it is. It doesn't, that part actually doesn't matter. It's just the gift giving of themselves. When you can give something of yourself, it is so much more memorable. It is just so much more meaningful. At least for me, it really is. I would totally want that over a sweater or something that I can just get for myself, right? Volunteering places together, that's a beautiful gift that you get to share with the person you're doing it with. And you're giving that gift to the place that you're volunteering, right? I always say, like, I'm also a Keller Williams real estate agent, and we do a lot of charity work together. We do a lot of gift giving together all year round, if you will. We get stuff together for back to school and Christmas time. We always buy gifts for the residents of this retirement home and community. So that's always fun. Though I've also volunteered my time at a food bank, right? So do that together. Go volunteer together at a food bank. Go volunteer together at a soup kitchen. Go gather a bunch of a gal that another fellow agent of mine, actually, she's gathering all of these winter coats, gently used winter coats, and she is donating them all, the group effort, and she is doing that as a way to give to homeless people and people that will really need it during this winter time, especially if they're maybe not in a nice warm atmosphere for sleeping at night or whatever. But what a beautiful way to give that way. Clothing, shoes, I have literally spent the last few months just wanting to change things up. I want to just purge through all of my abundance of stuff. We have so much abundance all around us, yet we go crazy and stress ourselves out trying to buy something, one more thing for somebody, and add one more thing to their collection of things, right? Most of us don't really need anything. If you think about, there's people out there in the world that they have nothing, right? They don't have anything. Maybe you're somebody who's going through struggles right now. I know I just did 2 workshops for bereaved parents. This is a difficult time of the year for some people. So giving the gift can just be giving of yourself and your love and your heart and your thoughtfulness. Giving in the way of volunteering is a really beautiful thing. It could be donating books. It could be donating anything. I know that at the end of every transaction, I like to donate a portion of my commission to a charity of my client's choice and mine, right? So I always want to be gifting and giving in that way. When it's monetary, it's that way. But all year round, I'm purging through my clothing closet and my shoe closet and so many different things. And I donate it to Purple Heart and Goodwill and all of these different charitable places, right? Because people out there need what you certainly don't need, maybe. Another thing is when it also comes to writing, and there are definitely way more talented people out there than myself. I certainly would never sing a song for somebody, but if you're good at singing, do it. Record something for somebody. Write a poem if you're good at writing, right? If you're good at something creative, do it and give it as a gift, because that is one of the most amazing gifts that you can give and receive. For me, I've never really been a monetary, I've never been a person who puts so much value to getting a gift that is expensive or costs a whole lot of money. For me, I'd rather it be practical, right? I love giving gifts to children in educational toys, or like I said, drawing something, painting something together. One of the things that I did last year, or maybe the year before, and I know I've done this so many times, where I will go and just buy the least expensive, like ornaments, like just a bunch of like wooden ornaments or something like that. Like every year, I like to get an ornament that I love, and I will get like 20 of them, and then I will give that as a gift. And what the reason for that is because I love knowing that I see an ornament that 20 other people in my life are looking at the same ornament, like we're sharing that together. Right. It's in everybody's home. One time it was a bird, one time it was house. And the other thing that I do is I like to paint those ornaments. So so every year it's like 2022, last year 2021. So it's an ornament for every year. And then also I have purchased that kind of stuff from like Michael's Arts and Crafts or AC Moore or whatever type of arts and crafts store you have in your neighborhood or in your state. And I've painted them and then given them as gifts to colleagues and friends, because that is really thoughtful. And I've taken my time to make this just for you. Another thing that I found, which was super awesome, I love it. And this is something that you can do all year around, super inexpensive, just some flour and some water. That's it. And it's these dough tags. So here's what you do. I'll even post a recipe. But you make this flour, you make this dough, you roll it out, and don't make it doesn't have to be super thick, but not too thin. You roll it out and then get cookie cutters, right? Just get those cookie cutters. So you could do, I have hearts, I have houses because I'm a realtor. I have, different cookie cutters for different times of the year. And then you can make them. I did reindeer, I did trees, I did all these different things, but you cut them out and then take a straw, like just so simple, right? Just take a straw and then just cut out, like, so if you have a tree, right? This is my tree. And then at the very top, you cut out with a straw the little hole, the circle, right? And pull that piece out so that you have the ability to hang it up. So now you cut these little cookies. Okay. You're definitely not eating these things. Trust me. And then you put them in the oven at like 200 degrees for like hours. I forget how much. I have to put it. I'll put it in the recipe and the way to make this in the link after we're done the Facebook Live. But you do that. You get them in the oven, they bake, they harden, and then you pull them out, you let them cool off completely, maybe even for 24 hours, and then you paint them. What? So you could put somebody's name on there. You can do this for birthday gifts, new baby shower gifts. You can do it for it's a boy, it's a girl. You can do it for Valentine's. You can do it for any occasion. Okay. And then you paint them, you personalize them, and you can add it to a gift. Like if you've actually bought a gift or you've wrapped a gift, you can actually add it as the tag. It can be a dough tag. And you can make this and give it as a gift and make it as an ornament. So you can actually use this to make your own ornaments and give them as a gift. And so you can make 50 of the same exact ornament, personalize them for everybody, put the year on there, do them in their favorite color, do them in their favorite type of decor, and then give them as a gift. It could be something where you do like a flat piece on the bottom. Oh, I'm getting so creative right now. You could do a flat piece on the bottom, and then, you could even put a groove in there and then later put it in there and make it as a stand. Oh, how smart is that? And then you could use it to put a picture on there. You could do endless things. go onto any website. I might even just put a few links on some different websites for just looking up like DIYs, right? Do it yourself. And when you do that, the gift is so much more memorable. It's so much more valuable than something you just went and bought because it came straight from you and your heart and your time and your dedication. And think about it. When you're making something for somebody, the only thing you're thinking about is that person the whole time that you're making it for them, because you're making it just for them, with them in mind, from your heart to theirs. And that's a beautiful thing. So there you have it. Show some gratitude for the person you're giving the gift to, and give it from your heart. Even if you've already bought something for them, add a little special note to it. Write a tiny little poem on it. Make a card for them, or do these dough tags. That would be, I bet, way more memorable, because once they take that dough tag and then they'll hang it on their tree, or they'll put it in the, hang it in their bathroom, hang it in there wherever, to kind of see it all year around. It does not have to be something red. It doesn't have to be this time of year. It just has to be from you to them. So I hope that is a beautiful way to kind of almost get to the end of this year. I am going to be coming on here next week. And next Wednesday is literally going to be the day before my son's birthday. He would have been turning 31. I will let you know that again next week, but super, super emotional time for me, and just a super loving time for me too. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all of you, and I am grateful for having the opportunity to come on here and hopefully stop glitching through the whole entire time. But you know what? I'm even okay with the glitching, because it's just what happens when I get to connect with you. I come out robotic sometimes, but it's all good. Love you guys so much. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being with me. And I'm going to do something special, and I'm going to put a link in the show notes below to go to my website and just get a list of items that you can do for gratitude, to bring more abundance into your life and to recognize the abundance that's already in your life. So it's going to be like a little gratitude cheat sheet is what I'm going to give to you. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to throw it in the link, and I'll see you next week. Thank you for listening to Unpacking Brain Drama podcast. You'll find links for all the things mentioned below in the show notes. And it would be incredibly awesome if you would take a quick moment to leave a review on iTunes or wherever you listen. If you'd like to be considered as a guest on our podcast, be sure to go to www.resultsbydesigncoaching.com for a free 30-minute coaching session. Thanks so much, guys. See you next time.